The nation's winningest college football program descends on one of America's iconic stadiums. Fenway Park has transformed its hallowed grounds into welcoming the Fighting Irish. Brian Kelly returns home to lead the Irish against rival Boston College.
You know, going to Fenway is an event in itself.
The Irish are so close to a spot in the playoffs, they can taste it. But BC has derailed great Irish seasons before.
It'll be worthwhile beating BC. It won't be much fun without a win.
And the greatest Boston College legend of all time will be in the yard. We'll catch up with Heisman Trophy winner and BC legend Doug Flutie.
BC Notre Dame is a big rivalry. Everyone calls it the Catholic Super Bowl over there at BC.
The monster has witnessed history for decades. What lies in store tonight? It's the Shamrock Series at Fenway Park. Notre Dame is shipping up to Boston. Now on WSBT-22.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this special presentation of WSBT Sports. I'm Pete Byrne alongside Carl Deffenbaugh. And Carl, we are here in Boston inside iconic Fenway Park, actually standing right now on would be the right field foul line, but the home of the Red Sox for this weekend has transformed into the home of the Fighting Irish.
Staring at Pesky's pole right there to our left, and Fenway Park really is the star of this weekend. This is the 7th year they've done the Shamrock Series, and 2015 is going to be hard to top. A city that loves the Irish and a venue that quite literally has stood the test of time.
There's no doubt about it. Being here in Fenway Park is very special, and there's plenty of reasons to be excited about tonight. Notre Dame comes into this ball game 9-1, ranked 4th in the college football playoff rankings, but without a question, being here in the home of the Red Sox is special for many of the Irish players and coaches. Here's what the Irish players had to say about playing here in Fenway Park tonight.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. It's been circled all year to be able to see that park. I've never been to Boston. You know, I've watched it on TV a bunch. I always thought that eventually I'd be a guy that you might have to do a poppy shift for me since I pulled the ball a bunch, and it's just a cool opportunity for me to you know, be on the field that a lot of great baseball players and a lot of history has been made in.
If there is an opportunity to go into the Green Monster, I think I would gladly accept said opportunity. Pull a Manny. I'm not going to try to pull a Manny Ramirez and leave the game to go into the Green Monster, but yeah, it's going to be kind of cool to walk around.
I like where Joe's head is at. We will also do our best to get into the Green Monster before this day is over with. From the monster behind us to Pesky's pole, Carl, so much history has happened here in this stadium, Fenway Park, but turning a baseball venue into a football field is no small task.
It's been a massive endeavor that started about 3 weeks ago, but lucky for the Irish, the Red Sox had the perfect man for the job.
Oh my gosh, I mean, I get goosebumps every day I walk out here.
Dave Meller is a lifelong Red Sox fan, and for the last 15 years, the head groundskeeper at Fenway Park, the oldest stadium in the major leagues.
The aura of Fenway, there's definitely a magic to that. You put the tradition and history of Notre Dame with Boston College, I think there's going to be a lot of special memories.
There it goes, the long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Fenway's iconic moments include Carlton Fisk and the 1975 World Series.
Get over, get over. Keep doing, there it is.
The Idiots of '04 and the greatest comeback in baseball history.
Ortiz in the deep right field. We'll see you later tonight.
And tonight, the first football game in 47 years. Since November 3rd, Meller and his team have led a massive transformation, which included digging out 7 tons of clay from the pitcher's mound and covering the infield with sod.
Well, the field was surveyed. It fits in well.
But not without a few quirks. The Irish and Eagles will share the same sideline.
Because of football stadiums, the front row seats are set up much higher. So if they were to be on both sidelines, you would lose a lot of sight lines from low seats on that side.
So with plenty of options, where's the best seat in the house?
Gosh, I don't think there's a bad seat. You know, the magic of Fenway, the magic of Notre Dame, BC, I think it'll be exciting wherever you are.
He would know, wouldn't he? And for my money, I'm taking 50-yard line over the Green Monster there. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That looks like a pretty good spot. Hey, there's no doubt that this place has a special place in sports history, particularly baseball history. Fenway Park also has a very special place in the hearts of Boston fans, and that includes Notre Dame's head coach Brian Kelly, who grew up not far from the baseball park here. Earlier this season, I had a chance to sit down with Coach Kelly and ask him what this moment will be like for him to coach in this stadium. You're going to get to coach at Fenway Park this year.
Yep.
As a kid who grew up a few miles from the ballpark, you can't tell me that isn't cool.
No, it isn't. Other than, maybe hitting a ball off the Green Monster, being right there is going to be, pretty fun. But it'll be worthwhile beating BC. It won't be much fun without a win, but it will be exciting to go back.
No doubt about it. It's always a whole lot more fun when you win the ball game, and that's not necessarily going to be easy for the Irish tonight, even though they are favored to win by 17 points. They'll get challenged.
Yeah, Boston College not having a great season, just 3-7, but they do have a great defense, actually the #1 unit in the country.
And don't underestimate the importance of this rivalry for the Eagles. The Irish and BC have played 22 times over the years. The Irish have won 13, the Eagles have won 9, but Boston College has a history of derailing Irish seasons when Notre Dame appears to be headed for a championship. Notre Dame will step on the Fenway Park turf, ranked 4th in the nation. Their national championship hopes still very much alive. But spoiling Notre Dame's shot at a national title is nothing new to Boston College.
You wondered about the emotion.
On 2 separate occasions, Notre Dame met BC late in the year, undefeated and ranked in the top 4, and lost. The most notable game came in 1993. Fresh off a win over Florida State in the game of the century, #1 Notre Dame rallied from a 21-point fourth-quarter deficit to take the lead, only to see the Eagles march down the field and David Gordon kick a last-second 41-yard field goal to hand the Irish their first and only loss of the year. Notre Dame would finish 1993 second. The circumstances were similar 9 years later when an 8-0 Notre Dame team welcomed the Eagles to Notre Dame Stadium. But the green jerseys brought the Irish no luck on that day. With points at a premium, Notre Dame put the ball on the ground 7 times. And no mistake, more devastating than this. Trailing 6-0 and driving for a potential go-ahead score, Pat Dillingham turns over the ball under pressure, and Josh Ott returns it 71 yards for the eventual game-winning touchdown. Boston College won that day 14-7, dashing Notre Dame's championship hopes yet again. Those are some tough memories to watch from a Notre Dame fan and alum, I got to admit. And as we were leaving the hotel this morning, what was on in the hotel lobby? It was the replay of the 1993 Notre Dame-Boston College game here on a local Boston sports channel. So BC fans remember the history of this rivalry well, and certainly those are some moments that Notre Dame fans wish they could soon forget. They certainly would not like to see history repeat itself in that way tonight. We've got to take a quick time out, but we're just getting started here tonight from Boston's Fenway Park. After this break, when we come back, this could be a special game for one particular Irish player. We will talk to Torrey Hunter when we come back from Fenway Park.
Remodeling needs.
Joe has been a cleanup hitter for us, if you will, and we don't want to take him out of the lineup.
I think he was safe, then he was out, then he was safe, and then he was out.
We moved C.J. Procyse there, who we think has a home run kind of ability. He was always throwing the fastball and never really changing speeds at all.
Welcome back to Fenway Park. Boy, he had a grand slam there.
He's a football coach, but you can hear baseball certainly has a part of his heart, and that seeps into some of his football analysis as well.
No question being here at Fenway Park tonight will be special for Brian Kelly, but it will also be special for one Fighting Irish football player in particular, Torrey Hunter Jr. And that's because Torrey Hunter was raised at the ballpark. His father, Torrey Hunter Sr., had a long, illustrious Major League Baseball career, just retired after 19 Major League seasons. And, of course, Carl, Torrey Jr. is a two-sport star for the Fighting Irish, plays for the baseball team as well as the football team.
And he's really come into his own on the gridiron here in the second half of this season. Hunter had 4 receptions over the first 4 games of this year, but has 17 in the 6 games since, including 2 touchdowns. And he remembers Fenway Park well, and he told us playing here himself now will be surreal.
It's definitely going to be a pretty cool experience, especially just the fact that I'm not playing baseball there is going to be pretty weird, but I think it's going to be a pretty cool experience, man. I've seen the field, and the setup looks pretty cool, man. I'm looking forward to it.
I heard you were planning to recreate your father's famous bullpen entrance.
Yeah, I said that, but I'm kind of nervous now. I don't want to get flagged or something if I do it during the game.
What if it happens naturally?
Oh, if it happens naturally, that would be epic, man. I'm sure they'll make a big deal about it, and it'll be all on Twitter and Instagram.
And we'll see if it happens in the game tonight, but he did make sure he recreated that iconic shot of his father flipping over the wall during the walkthrough yesterday when the team was in here.
I heard about that, and if it happens tonight, we'll put it on Twitter because there's no higher praise than that, right?
No.
Special for Torrey Hunter Jr., and as we know, it's going to be special for head coach Brian Kelly, too, who grew up just a few miles from the ballpark here at Fenway. Earlier this week when he met with the media, he shared with us some of his favorite memories from being here in Fenway Park.
Boy, I got a lot of them. Recently, probably sitting up in the green monster seats with my family. That would probably be the most recent. As a kid, probably going with my dad to the '75 World Series. I think those probably stand out. But you know, going to Fenway is an event in itself. You know, it's the stadium, but it's the surroundings, and it's always an enjoyable time.
And Brian Kelly, one of his favorite moments, he says, was sitting on the monster. Well, he is literally on the monster tonight. On the facade, probably a 20-foot high picture of the Irish head coach, which you'll see, no doubt, plenty of on the broadcast tonight.
He's come a long way since that young fan growing up at Fenway Park, for sure.
No doubt about it. We've got to take another quick time out here on the show, but we've still got lots more to get to here from Fenway Park. Probably the most favorite player in the history of Boston College football will be joining us next. Doug Flutie, the former Heisman Trophy winner. He'll have the call of the game tonight on the NBC Sports Network, but before that, he will chat with us. Stick around. Shipping up to Boston. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Fenway Park. Pete Byrne alongside Carl Deffenbaugh as we continue to get you ready for tonight's Shamrock Series game. Tonight, Carl, is going to be a very special night for Doug Flutie, but without question, he's undergone a very trying week. Earlier this week, he lost his father after a long bout with illness, and then almost inexplicably and tragically, an hour later, his mother passed away from a heart attack.
Certainly been a tragic week. We send our condolences to him. Flutie is here. We saw him last night during Notre Dame's walkthrough, and he will call the game tonight, as he has done all season for the Fighting Irish.
And before he did that, Doug Flutie did spend some time talking with us. We actually caught up with him last Saturday when he was in South Bend calling the Fighting Irish game against Wake Forest. And we had a chance to talk to him about the rivalry between Notre Dame and Boston College. We talked to him about what it will be like to be here tonight in Fenway Park for this special circumstance. And we got his opinion on how he thinks the Irish will fare in the college football playoff rankings as we draw near the final weeks of the season. Well, Doug, the Notre Dame-Boston College game, always a big rivalry for both sides. I'm curious, as a BC guy, what is playing Notre Dame like, and what would winning that game mean for BC?
Well, I played them once in a bowl game that didn't have any big implications, but it was fun for me, and we lose by a point. Other than that, BC Notre Dame is a big rivalry. It's everyone calls it the Catholic Super Bowl over there at BC, and a lot of bragging rights at stake. Obviously, Notre Dame's at a different spot with their program right now, so it's a big reach for Boston College, and they've got their work cut out for them.
In this particular game, they're wearing the throwbacks to your era and the Heisman era. That's got to be special for you.
It's really cool. I was actually did some stuff with Under Armour, wore the jersey, modeled the jersey, and all that, so it was pretty fun.
Putting a uni on today for the first time in 10 years.
Maybe it'll bring some magic to them and get things kick-started, have a big win. When we started winning against the big teams, we were coming out of nowhere at that moment in my sophomore year, so you never know when that moment comes that the light goes on and everything clicks.
Caught by Boston College. I don't believe it. It's a touchdown.
Let me ask about Notre Dame. You've been watching the team all year long. They're obviously ranked very high in the playoff rankings now. What's your impression of this team, and do you think that they're a championship contender at this point?
No doubt they're a championship contender. With Kaiser at quarterback, that was the main thing, that Malik Zaire got injured, and Kaiser could step in without missing a beat, and they've actually become more of a passing team. The fact that they've stepped up from injuries at different positions and not missed a beat and continued on. And Brian Kelly talked about the depth last spring, that finally they had a spring they could do some real hitting, have a real spring game. go through this fall camp and have depth. And it's all kind of coming to fruition now that they needed that depth and guys stepping up and taking over.
And lastly, it's not often that the venue is something we talk about, but Fenway Park is obviously an iconic American stadium, and to be having a football game in there, what's that going to be like just from an atmosphere standpoint, do you think?
Well, it's special for the people of Boston, no doubt about it. I mean, I've been going to Fenway Park since I was 10, 11 years old and sitting in the bleachers and going to games, and I love Fenway, and to see a football game there is just amazing. It's a cool, I guess back as far as 68 was the last game where the Boston Patriots played. To the people of Boston, Fenway is special, nostalgic, iconic, all that, and to see a football game in there is just going to really be a great experience.
I appreciate your time. Thanks, Doug.
As you heard, it's been almost a half-century since football was played here at Fenway Park, and the city's going to enjoy it a little bit. Since the field is here, they're actually hosting high school games over the Thanksgiving holiday and give the students, athletes around the city the chance to enjoy this as well.
Yeah, about a half dozen schools are going to get the chance to play out here. Great throw for the kids.
Absolutely.
Always fun catching up with Doug Flutie, too. I thought it was interesting what he had to say about the Irish football team. He's watched them all season long and thinks that they're a legitimate contender for the national championship. One thing that will be fun to watch tonight, behind us on the Monster, they have made over the scoreboard. It usually has the National League and American League scores up there. Well, tonight it's got the top 25, and no question Irish fans will be scoreboard watching as the teams that are chasing the Irish in the playoff standings scores come up.
A couple big games in the Big 12 and the Big 10 that could affect the Irish chances of making the college football playoff.
All right, we got to take another quick time out here, but we'll be back with more from Fenway Park. Tonight, in front of the Green Monster, the Irish will be breaking out the green jerseys here in the Shamrock Series. So when we come back, we will head inside the Fighting Irish locker room to get a closer look at those threads. Stay with us. Shipping up to Boston. We'll be back after this.
Our seniors have not worn the green jerseys, so this is their last chance to do so.
Welcome back to Fenway Park. Carl, it's not easy to find a room that 75 big guys can get dressed in, particularly in a 103-year-old stadium that was built for baseball, but there's always a way, and here they call it the Fenway.
And we got an exclusive look at the Red Sox clubhouse where the Irish will get ready tonight.
Really cool in the uniqueness of a baseball locker room. As Tom, their clubhouse manager, told me, he goes, there's the easy way and then there's the Fenway. There's only 41 of the baseball player lockers. We really had to put a lot of thought into who was going to get the baseball lockers. We didn't want to double them up. It's based off of seniority. So we came in yesterday. They were actually cleaning out Ortiz's locker. Tom, who is their head equipment manager, clubhouse manager, told me that Ortiz had requested that Torrey Hunter Jr. have his locker. And that was just because of his friendship with his dad. So he's obviously got the most famous locker in the locker room. Our seniors have not worn the green jerseys, so this is their last chance to do so. We've got the lines in the jersey, it's down the pants, it's on the gloves, it's on the back of the helmets, represents our national championships. It's unique that we've never worn green pants before. Shoulder to toe green, a split face mask, first time Notre Dame's ever had a split color face mask with the chrome, the green and blue, but shoulder to toe for sure. It's all green. Green tights, green socks, green cleats, and even Coach Kelly and the staff are going to have green coaching pants. I think it's going to be pretty cool. They're going to look good.
It will certainly be fun to see the Irish in all green set in front of the Green Monster here tonight. We got to take one quick time out, but we will be back from Fenway Park in Boston to wrap up the program right at Port.
I can't wait. It's an incredible stadium. Like Jay said, Red Sox are actually my favorite baseball team too. I was born in Connecticut, and my uncle was a huge fan, got me to be a fan when I was younger. But it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be like a home game for us. Obviously, our fans are incredible, so we're really excited.
Playing in a venue like Fenway Park with all the history and tradition, just like Notre Dame, and it's always really cool playing that Shamrock Series game in another venue. It could be a home game, but it's not. But it's gonna be really fun.
I don't know if some guys actually realize, how cool it is to actually play in Fenway and the history behind it and stuff like that. But, it's definitely going to be fun, man.
Players are excited, Carl, and I don't blame them. I am too.
Players, fans, all of us, this will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience tonight.
And don't forget, tonight's game will not be available on NBC. It's on cable, but if you don't see the game, don't worry. As soon as it's over, you can flip over to WSBT. We'll have all the highlights here at 11 and a full recap tomorrow on WSBT News Sunday morning. So long from Fenway Park.